Today's lecture is a video-based lecture about elasticities. As we know in the previous material, we have already calculated and explained and analyzed as well using the concept of demand and supply. And we have learned about the law of demand and law of supply, where we know that when the price changes, the quantity of demand and quantity of supply will change as well. However, like in the previous concept, we don't tell you or we didn't explain to you about like how much the change in quantity demand and quantity supply due to the change in the prices. Similarly, we don't explain to you or we don't know how much the responsiveness of this change in quantity demand and change in quantity supply because of the change in the prices. Today, we're going to introduce a new concepts which economists coin as elasticities. This concept of elasticity will allow you to measure how much and how big is the degree of responsiveness of quantity demanded and quantity supply due to change in prices. Elasticity by definition is a measure of responsiveness of demand and supply to prices changes. In formula terms, it can be shown that the elasticity is equal to the percentage change in the quantity demanded of product X, for example, and the ratio to the percentage change in price of products X. Or in other words, you can also find like the elasticity of demand, for example, is a change in quantity demanded of X divided by original quantity of demanded X, and divided again by the change in price of X and original price of X. The question is now, why economists use the elasticities and using a percentage? The reason are twofold. The first reason is because it's a unit free of comparisons. It's a unit free measure since a ratio of 2 percentage change and the percentage change cancel out. And this result, when you change the unit of measurements or price or quantity, leave the value of the elasticity the same. The second reason why we use the percentage change in calculating the elasticities is because it can be used to compare elasticity across products. So we know in the world we have like different kinds of goods, different kind of products which have like a different measure of elasticities. By using the percentage change instead of unit change or absolute change, we will be able to compare like across the different goods. The elasticity of different goods also can be compared even though they are measured in different units. And finally, it also eliminates the minus signs, as you know, like the formula of elasticity formula is actually based on the absolute value. So regardless whether it has a minus or a plus signs, we know that the result is still the same and can be comparable to other elasticities. So we have several extreme cases of elasticities. For example, we have when the elasticity is greater than 1, we said that demand is elastic. When the coefficients of elasticity is equal to 1, we said that demand is unit elastic. And when the elasticity of demand is less than 1, we call it as a demand is inelastic. What are these? When is elasticity coefficient greater than 1, it means that the percentage change in quantity demanded is greater than percentage change in price, indicating what? That consumers are sensitive to change in price, so demand is elastic. When the elasticity coefficient is less than 1, the percentage change in quantity demanded is less than percentage change in the price, which indicate that consumers are not very sensitive to price change. And finally, when the elasticity coefficient equal to 1, this is a special case, what we call also unit elasticities. This means that the percentage change in price and change in quantity are exactly equal. We also have other cases such as perfectly inelastic demand or elasticity equal to 0, where consumer will buy exactly the same amount no matter how high or low the price, and perfectly elastic demand, which means nothing will be purchased if there is any deviation from the current price, or this usually symbolizes elasticities equal to infinities. Okay. To make the concept of elasticity more practical, economics also define what we call so-called total revenue tests. In this total revenue test, we analyze how is the impact of the price change on total revenue, because manager always interested in like the bottom line of a firm. So by using this total revenue test, we know directly, like practically, how's the impact of the price on the bottom line of firms. So for example, we call inelastic demand. So price and total revenue will move together. So when the price, for example, increase, then the total revenue will also increase if the elasticity is inelastic. On the other hand, the total revenue test also dictates that when elasticity is actually elastic, or E is greater than 1, then the price and total revenue will move in the opposite direction. So when there's a tendency of price increase, then total revenue of a firm will normally go down. This is why the reason why business doesn't like to compete or to have their business to do their business in the inflation conditions. That's why business hate inflations, because of what we know that from the total revenue test, that when price increase in the climate of price increase, then total revenue of business will change, will naturally go down. So you can find more about this, the formula, and also how to calculate. Pay attention to, for example, midpoint formulas, to the documents and all the materials that's submitted and uploaded in the document below. Thank you.